So there's lots of talk about the importance of local and Indigenous knowledge, and the big international conventions, such as the Convention on Biological Diversity, stresses how important it is. But there's very little progress in how we use it. And I've been in Greenland for the last few days, learning about the great progress they've made and discussing. And I'm here with Piniuakkanik Jacobsen, who's a part-time hunter, works for the municipality. So why is local and Indigenous knowledge so important?
Those resources are very important, the most important. It's so important that we need some knowledge about these animals we're hunting.
So PISUNA has obviously done some great work. What does PISUNA actually do? How does it collect information and make that available?
I have been working with PISUNA in the last 15 years. 4 times a year we have a meeting. We discuss the animals we're hunting. Also, the ice circumstances, climate changes. I make the minutes to collect information from the meetings. PISUNA is shortening of reporting of local resources. We want to collect all kind of information about climate change, animals, currency, ice. I'm working with hunters from the local settlement called Attu. It's about 70 kilometers from Asia. And they have living but of hunting. So they observe things from their hunting, everyday life of hunting and fishing. So we take up what they have seen, what they have observed last year at the time and in the future. What is the reason that some animals behave differently than the usual, or the ice is thinner than in the last decade?
Greenland has obviously seen enormous changes, with loss of the sea ice, lots of other environmental changes. Does PISUNA also monitor the consequences of those?
We discuss, for instance, ice, which is very unusual. How thick is it? How thin is it compared to last year? Including climate change. We have experienced how much climate change have affected our hunting life, because we are not able to sail by boat because of whether it's too thin or too fat. We can't even travel by sledge dog because it's too thin. And you can't either sail by boats because the circumstances of the ice is so insecure. The ice is huge icebergs is coming from the north, going south. It affects also the ice circumstances because they stop on the lower sea areas and affect about the ice. And as long as there are many icebergs, there is open sea ice. But now it's also changed because of climate effect. Currencies have changed a bit. That's also because of climate of the sea, because of the Irminger's currency going up north, while it mixed from the currency from the up north. So it affects animals we hunting, also fishes and the birds. It affects a lot. We can make a plan to the future because it's so unpredictable. For instance, here in Innuit, they're supposed to be hunting specific fishes, but they can't do that because of climate change.
PISUNA just seems this fantastic example, and it shows great leadership that I think all sorts of people around the world could learn from. So thanks both for this interview and also for all the fabulous work that you're doing and
Thank
leading
you
the way.
so much for having me for the rest of the world, because I have a chance to inform what we have learned to the rest of the world. I really hope that our work will continue, and also the government of Greenland will support us, not only words, but also the parliament will support us. It is so important to make report about animal population, how they behave in the nature because of climate change. We need these information on papers. Thank you so much.
Koyanak.